JBN, we keep you informed. Elderly businessman killed in Upper Clarendon. The Chapelton police in Clarendon are probing the chopping death of 56-year-old shopkeeper Amos Adams, whose body has been found at Dawkins Land in the Colonel's Ridge area of the parish. The incident is said to have happened at some point between Friday night, February 28, and early Saturday morning, when the body was discovered on the roadway about 8 o'clock. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF said that Adams closed his shop shortly before 11 p.m. on Friday night. His wife became concerned when he did not arrive home. About 8 o'clock this morning, Mr. Adams was found a few meters from his home with multiple chop wounds, the JCF said. His motor vehicle, which has blood stains, was found elsewhere in the Colonel's Ridge area, the JCF further said. It said no motive has been established for the crime, but residents suspect Adams was robbed. 12 and 13-year-old Kingston boys charged with rape and abduction. Charges of rape, aiding and abetting rape, and forcible abduction have been laid against two boys, one 12 and the other 13, in relation to an incident in Kingston last November. The police say the boys were taken into custody following months of investigations led by the Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offences and Child Abuse (CISOCA), which culminated with their arrest on Friday, February 14. According to investigators, the boys allegedly forced a schoolgirl to the back of the compound where one of them had sexual intercourse with her against her will. They have been remanded in custody and will appear in court on Friday, March 6. Student drowns after falling into river while fishing in Trelawny. A 16-year-old Trelawny student drowned when he reportedly fell into a river where he was fishing along with a group of other boys on Thursday. The deceased has been identified as 16-year-old Jonathan Eccleston of Perth Town, Trelawny. Eccleston was a grade 11 student at the Knibb Memorial High School in Trelawny. The Falmouth police reported that a group of boys was fishing at a river in Perth Town when Eccleston fell into the water. Efforts made by his friends to rescue him were unsuccessful. The incident notably occurred during the two-day midterm break from school after Ash Wednesday. A search for his body on Thursday had to be called off late that evening without success. However, the body was recovered after the resumption of the search on Friday morning. The search was conducted by members of the Jamaica Defence Force JDF Coast Guard, the Marine Police, and the Falmouth Fire Station. St. Catherine common law husband charged with assault. A 52-year-old man from Gravel Heights, St. Catherine, is to face the court after he allegedly beat his common law wife and caused her several injuries during an alleged dispute at their home on Thursday. Elvis Campbell has been charged with assault occasioning actual bodily harm, unlawful wounding, and malicious destruction of property. The Spanish Town Police report that about 3 a.m. an argument between the couple escalated, and Campbell allegedly punched and kicked the complainant, causing bruises and wounds to her body. A report was made to the police and was subsequently pointed out, arrested, and charged. Plum Lane, St. Andrew begs for more police presence. Residents of Plum Lane in the St. Andrew North Police Division breathed a sigh of relief at the police presence in the community on Tuesday. As of recent, their peace and safety had vanished due to the rise of violence in the area. When I come here, the place was so peaceful and quiet, one resident said, as she lamented how things have changed. Sometimes we even scared to go to church too early or come back home too late because a beer gunshot day in and day out, the resident said. On Tuesday, the St. Andrew North Police led a major police operation in sections of the division. 10 patrol vehicles containing cops and dogs swarmed the communities of Cameron Lane, Whitehall Avenue, Carlisle Avenue, and Plum Lane in an intense operation aimed at finding wanted men and illegal weapons. St. Andrew North sticks out like a sore thumb on the murder statistics sheet, with 22 thus far, leading the other 18 police divisions. The division recorded 9 murders during the corresponding period in 2019. No wonder why residents of Plum Lane and other areas were glad to see the heavy police presence on Tuesday. If this is a regular thing, the place will be more peaceful. Right now, with all that is happening in the place, I have to fence up my gate, a resident said. A 32-year-old man says that violence affects all age groups, from the children to the elderly people residing in the bullet-infested community. People have pitney, are afraid to bring them go school. The residents are fearful for them lives. As 5 o'clock come, people them gone, not even the shop people them want go up on the front. A bare innocent people are dead, he said wearily. Picking a hear gunshot and start ball. From last week, me no go walk because me afraid of the road, the 32-year-old shared. Another resident has been living in Plum Lane for 39 years, and she has never seen the community like this. We are in the middle of the war zone. It's the innocent people them who always get catch up in everything. You have good and you have bad, but only the good feel it. We have had some problem long time, but it get worse now, she said. People are living in fear. I have to leave here to go to work before 5 o'clock in the morning. I may have to be on the lookout. This is serious. District Constable on corruption charge offered $300,000 bail. A Westmoreland District Constable was offered $300,000 bail with 3 sureties when he appeared before the parish court on Friday to answer charges for breaches of the Corruption Prevention Act. He was also ordered to surrender his travel documents and to report at the Little London police station once per week. He is scheduled to return to court on Wednesday, March 18. Detectives assigned to the Inspectorate and Professionals Standards Oversight Bureau arrested and charged the District Constable after a file was prepared and sent to the Director of Public Prosecution, DPP, for ruling. Subsequently to the ruling by the DPP, he was charged with 2 counts of breaches of the Act. The police says the arrest was the culmination of an investigation that began in December 2019 when a vendor reported that the district constable solicited and accepted money from him after he was allegedly found vending in a no-vending zone. The vendor was reportedly released after the money was paid over. DNA evidence links accused Portmore serial rapist to 4 more incidents. The St. Catherine South Police are reporting that DNA evidence was linked to St. Catherine man to several cases of rape committed in the division from 2018. He has been charged with multiple counts of rape and sexual assault committed in the Portmore St. Catherine area. The alleged rapist, who has been identified as 27-year-old Chadane Harris, has been in custody since last year and is to be charged with an additional 4 counts of rape after DNA testing linked him to the cases dating back to 2018. After being nabbed for housebreaking in July 2019, Harris was later charged with 4 counts of rape, the police said. According to the police, results from DNA testing on historic samples recently linked Harris to an additional 4 cases. The latest charges bring the total number of rape charges against him to 8, and detectives say they are awaiting the results of at least 2 other tests. Harris will answer to the latest charges in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Wednesday, March 4, the police said. Fewer than 50% of people with HIV get in treatment. Despite 3 Jamaicans becoming infected with HIV every day, fewer than half of those diagnosed with the disease are on treatment. Data from the National HIV STI Program show that 1,165 new cases were reported in 2018, a 3% decrease when compared to 2017, with 32,617 people estimated to be living with HIV, while 84% know their status, only 47% are on treatment. In keeping with the joint United Nations program on HIV/AIDS and 90-90-90 target set for the end of 2020, which is an indicator of progress towards ending the epidemic by 2030. At the end of January 29, 2019, Jamaica's numbers stood at 84,53,65. This means that we believe that we have diagnosed the majority of the people living with the virus. The gap we have now is that we have only been able to retain on treatment 53% of those people, said Xavier Biggs, Monitoring and Evaluation Manager for Jamaica AIDS Support for Life, JASL. What that means, Biggs said, is that a vast majority were not receiving treatment and were at risk of spreading the virus. The monitoring chief said that despite stigma and discrimination continuing to be problematic to HIV management, JASL urged those diagnosed with HIV to get help now. It's one thing to not know your status and be oblivious of that. You might possibly be infecting a new subset of people. It's even more difficult knowing that there's a subset that do know their status. We don't know if it is unprotected sex, but we do know that some sexual activity must be happening because new infections continue to appear, he said. The data further show that 49% of males and 14% of females have multiple sex partners, but only 58% with multiple sex partners use condoms at last sex. We're not policing people's sexual behavior. We can't make decisions for people in their relationships. We can give them encouragement and tell you what is advised and where to get help and what to do, he said. The majority of new infections were among low-risk women at 32%, followed by young people aged 15 to 24 at 16%, men who have sex with men at 10%, and prison inmates at 6%. Low-risk women are often in a committed relationship, whether married or common law, and do not see themselves at risk of contracting a sexually transmitted infection, STI, said Andrea Campbell, Director of Health Promotion and Prevention at the National Family Planning Board. They also do not have a history of STIs. However, their partners may be putting them at risk by engaging in sexual activity external to the relationship without the use of a condom, she said. Campbell said there are several factors that could lead to a disregard for safe sex practices. Citing data from the 2018 HIV/AIDS Knowledge, Attitudes and Behavior Survey, reasons given were the love or trust for a partner not liking using, or allergic to condoms, or having one partner, or currently married and faithful. It means that everyone has a responsibility to protect themselves from HIV and other STIs, and that means taking the necessary preventative measures. Condom use needs to be normalized by all sexually active persons, whether or not they are in a relationship they consider to be safe, the director added. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember, subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.